Hello, one and all. It is a Monday evening, and hopefully you're in the right place and looking at our absolutely, what can I say, beautiful faces.
Absolutely.
And you're watching The Regulars. I'm Cody Decker.
I'm Tanya Ray Fox. Cheers. Happy Monday.
Oh, isn't it always a happy Monday? Oh.
How was your weekend, Cody?
Actually, quite relaxing. I got away from certain sports, and I got really into a brand new hobby, which is watching festivals from YouTube.
Yeah, well,
which is weird.
Yes, we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we are.
At the end of the show.
Yes.
I did notice that you were slutting it up on Instagram stories with a little bit of bare shoulder.
Every once in a while, when you're out there in the sunlight, you got to let people know that the shoulders can be let out every once in a while.
There was like just enough shoulder, little head, and some chest hair.
Gotta leave them wanting more, man.
Exactly.
Gotta leave them wanting more.
And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think that I like that approach. I try to play that game, but mostly it just ends up in full bikini selfies.
No, and I also saw the knee in a post
Knees?
again.
The knees?
You can't show off your knee. You know the rules.
I know.
Knee gate will return.
And I'm gonna keep doing it. This is gonna be my new running bit.
By the way, hopefully you guys are joining us live, not only on YouTube, and of course we are live on YouTube, but also live on Instagram right now. You can find us at Tanya Ray Fox's Instagram.
It may or may not be showing up in the right aspect ratio. It goes in and out.
It does go in and out. Those of you that get annoyed by it, often what I do is I hit the X and I just go back into it.
Yeah.
It usually shows back up. But every time I put in a comment, like interject in there,
really?
it always goes back to that like compressed thing. So that's all.
So you might just be able to like hear us, and then occasionally I guess I could lean into frame, and then I don't know if I'll do anything.
Well, you got to leave them wanting more,
Yeah.
as we've already discussed. So hopefully you're joining us live just about anywhere, and welcome to the show. We got a lot to cover today. Well, actually, you asked me. My weekend was fine. How was your weekend?
My weekend was, it was fine. It was not the most exciting weekend. I was getting a lot done, and quite honestly, I'm preparing for a lot of trips coming up. I have a high school reunion that I'm going to.
I didn't go to mine.
Right before I go to Disney World with my sisters and my mom.
Okay.
So that's coming up.
Why Disney World and not Land when they come out here?
Oh, because we grew up going to Disney World. They're not coming out here. But
your mom was just out here.
Yeah. So we have done Disneyland out here. To be quite honest, I prefer to not go. No, I prefer to not go to Disney at all.
Oh, I actually would agree with that.
Yes, but my mom, big Disney person, it's just like one of her, Disney World specifically is just like one of her happy places ever since we were little kids. She goes with my sisters fairly frequently. She goes with her boyfriend. And so this time around, we're like, okay, this is a throwback to our childhood. We used to go all the time. So me and the girls are taking my mom. It's her dream trip for like all of us as adults, because we haven't done it in forever, where all of us have been together to just go do it together. So we're doing it. Chris works for ESPN, so I don't pay for the passes. Like me and my sisters are getting in entirely for free.
Okay, so it's actually a pretty clever trip for you guys. Okay,
it's a good trip, and like my mom's just gonna love it. It's her thing, so we're doing it. But if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it big, especially because we don't have to pay for the passes. So like Disneyland is just so much smaller; you can do less.
Okay, question for you. What do you think of Disney adults? I gotta And I want to make it abundantly clear what a Disney adult is.
Yeah.
A Disney adult is not somebody who is an adult who likes Disney, subscribes to Disney Plus. No, a Disney adult is somebody that goes to Disneyland and or World often. And when I say often, I'm talking like once, maybe a month.
Sure.
Maybe closer to bi-weekly.
Some people do, especially in Disneyland. That's like a big thing.
So I know somebody that I used to, my old like high school girlfriend, she's going to Disneyland all the time.
Yeah.
And when I see the posts, there are points where I'm just like,
do you ever get sick of it? Yeah.
Why? I just look around. I'm like, I've been to Disneyland. Not much has changed since the last time. Last time I was like 2021.
So here's the thing. I think we have different versions of Disney adult, because I know there's people who go to Disney all the time. They have their passes. They have like their resident passes, whatever else. And I'm like, as long as I don't care what you do in your free time. If that's like the thing you like, whatever. I think where people get a little bit funky about Disney is when they make Disney stuff and Disney World and the going to Disney and parks, they're like personality.
Okay, I know a lot of people like
like
that.
You know what I mean?
I will admit, the person I know doesn't do that.
Right,
but
so,
they go a lot, and I'm always like, wow.
I have a friend who she's like one of the coolest people ever. And she's like, she's just like cool as hell. She goes all the time.
Your mom just said, Cody, careful.
Yeah, she's exactly.
I'm there.
She goes all the time. But
Mama
like,
Fox, I am towing the line. I don't think I'm not referring to you. I've seen people, what she's referring to, which is like.
Yeah. And even people people will get like a Disney homage tattoo or like whatever. If all their tattoos are Disney, I'm scared. If all of the like fun merch in your house is all
That's
Disney,
weird.
so it's like it could. I think with any interest, literally any. You and I both like sports.
Yeah.
If we made it our entire personality to the point where if you walked in our house, we had like something that seemed like no other interest. Well, this is our sports podcast house. That's not the same. We have a job to do. And if your job is podcasting about Disney, I hope that your podcast studio looks like Disney.
Yeah,
World.
there'd be some mouse ears all over this fucking place.
We are technically in an actual clubhouse right now.
We are. Over there are lockers. Over there is a helmet and bat rack. Over here is a bunch of video games, a high top, a pool table. Mocha on the ones and twos doing everything he can to make this show look and sound great.
He's the least sports thing about this
because
entire
he doesn't
podcast.
know anything about sports. He learns a lot about sports while running this show.
We're creating monsters slowly.
We are. And we got a lot to cover today. So why don't we go ahead and get into it?
Yeah.
The excitement is palpable. We have the play-in. I'm kidding. I don't think anyone's excited. 2 months of the NBA playoffs in front of us. And yes, I did say 2 months because today, the day of our Lord, Monday, the 13th of April, if this goes game 7, the series, the NBA playoffs will not be over until July 19th.
Yeah.
June
19th.
I'm sorry, June 19th.
I was like, oh my God.
Sorry, June 19th, which in case you didn't know, I'm wrong. That's more than 2 months from now.
Yeah. No, we're talking like almost 9 weeks.
I hate this so much.
Yeah. It's a lot.
So much.
It's a lot, and especially it's a lot considering we mostly feel like there's only 3 teams with a potential to make the NBA Finals. Yeah.
This is awful.
I don't know if you talked about it on your shows like recently as much as you and I have here, but like the idea that like we're gonna get anything other than like Spurs Celtics or Thunder Celtics is like starting to feel further and further away.
Further and further away.
But that would make an upset even cooler. So we gotta pay attention.
Sure. Look at all the potential upsets. There are none.
Well, it's certainly not gonna be the Magic because did you see what the Celtics did to the Magic
with
their entire backup squad the other day?
Did you see what the Oklahoma City Thunder did to at the time a healthy Lakers?
When?
Well, a week and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
The game where everyone died.
Yeah, but were the Thunder playing their starters?
Some of them,
yeah.
And then they sent out their backups to beat up on the backups of the Lakers.
But what I'm talking about is the Magic rolled out their best roster, and they got beat by
the Thunder's
a bunch of people you've not even heard of on the Celtics. It was bad news bears. So yeah, it's not looking good for the rest of the league. The other problem, and this is sort of our big headline for first headline of the day, is that the NBA awards. Nikola Jokic has qualified officially.
Congratulations, Joker.
But there are a bunch of players who did not qualify because of the league's 65-game threshold for year-end awards. And we need to talk about this because I did some digging on this further after I saw that Luka Doncic is expected to appeal his ineligibility. Luka Doncic currently he finished the season leading the league in points scored, which is insane.
Yeah, he's like 37th in minutes played too. By the way,
well, yeah, I'm looking at my notes. It's all in here. Let me get to it.
Oh, sorry. We could also just talk about it.
I know, but I have to leave. I'm trying to keep us classy here, Cody. Okay. So, yes, Luka Doncic, 37th in the league in minutes played, but also minutes per game in his 64 games. So let's say he had played 65 games. He's averaging at number 4 in the league in minutes per game, right? So it's not even just that he is top of the league. I mean, 37th. You think about how many players on every team combined. I mean, like if you're top 100 in minutes, that's a solid showing that you should be but it's not just him. Cade Cunningham has played 2,172 minutes that makes him 57th in minutes this season. Devin Booker, 2,170. 58th. Anthony Edwards is 60th in minutes at over 2,100 minutes. And LeBron James himself came in just underneath 2,000 minutes. That's 81st in the league. None of these players are eligible for postseason awards.
Yeah.
Like I said, Luka and Anthony Edwards are number 4, number 9 in minutes per game this season. Cade Cunningham is 17th in minutes per game this season. And Wemby, in his post-game press conference the other day, said basically like, I understand there being a threshold, but it can't be just 65 games. He said, because, you know, you can average 30 minutes a game in however many games. And now he's like, listen, I understand. What do you guys think? 70, 75% like of the season you got to play. He goes, well, let's do the math. And he did this insane math off the top of his head. Because of course, why wouldn't Wemby be incredible at math?
Naturally.
Right. And he made an amazing point that part of this, we're looking at if some of these players are eligible, having played far fewer minutes per game, they have fewer minutes across the season and they're eligible for awards. But Anthony Edwards and Luka and Cade Cunningham and Devin Booker are not.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not even just Luka. I mean, Luka got absolutely screwed.
Yeah, 1 game off. If only he wasn't suspended that second to last game, right?
That's why he's appealing.
I know he is.
And he's not going to win.
No, he's not.
He's not going to win the appeal.
No, because he had a lot of texts. Listen, I don't know what to say other than this was stupid from Jump Street. I'm glad it only took 2 seasons for us to go.
Do you think
like,
they're going to change it next season?
Yeah,
because of
I
this?
do.
Yeah.
I think they're going to immediately change it.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, correct me if I'm wrong, the NBA didn't go rogue. I believe they bargained for this, didn't they?
Oh, I don't know.
I think this was agreed to. I don't think that the NBA just put it on the Players Association. I think this was agreed to, which if it was,
I guess it would have been.
This was stupid.
It would have. I mean, you can't do something like this without the PA.
Yeah, and again,
right?
I understood everything about it. I just remembered it was implemented. I think it was Michelle and I looked at each other like, this is going to be dumb.
Yeah.
This is going to be dumb.
And
because it's going to lead to just
Worst case
something
scenario.
like this happens. And now
The league leader in points not being eligible.
not being eligible.
4th most minutes.
You got arguably 4 of the
Per
top
game.
10 most important players currently in the NBA not available for the postseason awards, and the timing didn't make any sense. Now, the reason I think this was ever even put into play had nothing to do with really the NBA. It was more so, you had like Ja at the time not playing in games when the only reason to go to a game over there in Memphis to watch Ja. And then like kids were like with signs that came all the way here to watch Ja. Yeah. And then the same with Steph, like came all the way here to watch Steph, and Steph's down that day just because not of injury, but of, good old fashioned load management at the time, which was just the name of the game at the time.
Right.
So they wanted to curtail the idea of load management, and this is not the right answer either. Everything you put in, you're going to cause 3 separate issues. My question is, pick your poison.
Minutes does seem better, though.
Makes a
doesn't
little
it?
bit more sense.
I mean,
but I also understand the idea of like a team taking advantage of that. Go like, well, this guy played a lot of minutes yesterday. We're going to sit him the next game. The idea is so fans come to the game, and the chances of them seeing their stars, they're out there. That was the idea behind it, and I get that on paper. But in actual implementation, this is a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, and like, listen, I think if your stars are hitting 60 games, 61 games, like, I'm sorry guys don't play 82 games anymore. They just don't. Like, that's just the reality. So if you're going to do something arbitrary and you're going to say you have to make it to 1,500 minutes or whatever the fuck you decide,
I also want to know where they came up with the 65 number.
Yeah,
it's like one of those arbitrary numbers.
It's out there.
It's maybe, but I look at like the same thing with like Major League Baseball. When they were like, well, he's at nearly 100 pitches. We got to move him out. Why? Who came up with 100?
Yeah.
Why is that round number, triple-digit number 100?
It is weird. Yeah.
Somehow this threshold, because I have still to this day, in a league that has so much data, I have yet to see that 100 pitches is the correct number.
That's what I was going to say, because baseball people, I was like, they must have run the analytics on when people start to like lose their pitching. Like
they say third time through the order.
Third time through the order.
Third time through the order is when you should be getting guys out.
Okay.
Because you don't want to usually get a guy to see you 3 times. But if you're dominant, you're dominant.
That's what I'm going to say. Like sometimes, like the whole idea of being on a heater is you're on a heater,
well,
like you
can't
get touched, right?
I'll give you an example. Blake Snell.
Yeah.
Blake Snell like didn't pitch a single game after like the 6th and a half inning in like his whole. He never finished past the 7th inning.
Yeah.
Until he left the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
They would never let him go, and it cost the Rays a World Series.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny.
Listen, as an AL East girl myself, I love it. I love to see it. Sorry.
I just thought it was so these arbitrary numbers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's data behind it. There had to be a reason they picked 65.
Yeah.
But then again, there is no data behind them picking 100 pitches.
And it really is like I don't know if they envisioned what they envisioned, but if you look at the list of minutes play, and if you do minutes per game or total minutes, whatever you want to do, you're not going to, if you stay in the top 100, there's nobody eligible for awards even close to that. You cannot have a bunch of superstars who've played 35 to 38 minutes a game not making the awards. That's where it gets weird.
It's almost like this was a bad idea.
It's so easy to find it. It's just like, it's not like the tanking thing where like where you look at it and you're like, man, I really actually don't know how to fix this. This feels like pretty easy.
And
find a metric that doesn't exclude the best players in the league.
You're right. And by the way, on the flip side, it's also true. Dan Turner just makes a good point on Twitter right now. Not Twitter, I'm sorry, on YouTube right now. First time in NBA history, 8 teams with 55 plus losses.
Yeah, this is the first time ever that they've had 8 teams have less than 333.
Pretty ugly for a league where 10 teams in both divisions gets into the playoffs.
It's really bad. It's really like last night I was watching who was making it into the like play-in stuff, and I was like, it doesn't even matter.
Well, I'm kind of impressed with the East. I mean, the whole East is above 500 in it. That's getting into the play-in. Yeah, like that's at least something.
Yeah. Oh, sure. But like, but then you look at it and you're like, none of these guys can hang. You
one
know?
of them.
Like they can't hang. At least the Nuggets can kind of hang.
Actually,
right? At least
by the way,
Wolves can kind of hang.
I would love your thought on that. Are we criminally under discussing the Nuggets? Because I think I'm always scared of Jokic this time.
Well, I was recently kind of realizing like, oh, why are they so? It's because they've been hurt and they've not been playing together.
And now
they've
they're
had
together,
crazy
and they just
injuries.
won 12 in a row. By the way, going right into playoffs.
100% they could play spoiler. They have the best player in the world, and like of course they absolutely could. So the West is definitely a little bit more interesting. I could see both the Nuggets and the Wolves maybe doing something because of their superstars and because of the fact that they have a lot of experience in late playoff or playoff series situations.
Absolutely.
The East is probably screwed. However, I also we're not that far removed from Jimmy Butler and like the 8th seeded Heat.
You're not wrong.
Like that shit was insane.
That
they had
was
no
nuts.
business doing that. They had no business making it there and doing what they did, and they did. So like, I'm never gonna write off some team doing that.
Dude,
it's just,
that one series got Jimmy Butler $200 million more money.
it wasn't even just that though, because he was doing that shit on the Heat.
I know he was.
It was weird,
but it was wild.
It was crazy. No, it was crazy.
Absolutely wild.
And
All
you know
right.
what? I love to see it.
Let's get to headline number 2, because headline number 2, quite interesting. If there's one thing you know about me, you know I love an NFL team that's worse than my NFL team. And my NFL team is the Raiders. So that's a team that just steps on rakes everywhere they possibly go. Left and right, they step on their own tail. They just punch themselves in the face. That's what they do. But imagine my joy that every time they do that, I immediately say, Tanya, well, at least I'm not a fucking Cleveland fan. Jesus Christ, the Haslams have no way other than to step on their dicks. And I think it's hilarious. That being said, Tanya, could you explain the new controversy that they just invented themselves yet again?
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are insisting that there's going to be a quarterback battle going into the 2026-2027 season between Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, and Dylan Gabriel, all of whom are under contract. And this was started when Jimmy Haslam a couple weeks ago said that essentially, like, yeah, we definitely think that Deshaun, with a fresh start, offensive-minded coach who has, blah, 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 he has a great chance to do that now. So he gave the media a bunch of reason to believe that Deshaun Watson not only has an ability to get the QB1 job.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. But also that he probably has a leg up on it, which is
even cooler.
Which is what Ian Rappaport told Rich Eisen. He said, if I had to guess, and these are just guesses, not reports, my guess is Deshaun Watson has the leg up. And I really think that's because they know Haslam wants it so goddamn bad, and not because they think he's the best quarterback on the roster or the best option. Now,
he's had 2 Achilles surgeries since the last time he played quarterback in the NFL, which, correct me if I'm wrong, how long ago was that?
I don't know.
2001?
2
full seasons and a half?
He played in the 2024 season, but it was early on, and it's been like, and by the way, he was bad when he was playing.
He was
awful. He was not good.
He was awful.
He's checked out. It's start to finish an awful decision. What I think is really funny here is that they're saying it's a 3-way quarterback battle, right? It's the same group as last year as far as they're going in with Shedeur, Deshaun, and Dylan Gabriel.
Excuse me. Call him by his true name. That's Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders.
That's right. The best that we could possibly
Whatever
offer.
You want to say, it's in his resume
It's
forever.
on his resume because
I can't believe it either.
But the thing is, we saw last season that Dylan Gabriel cannot start. He's not a starting quarterback. We saw it
maybe someday, but
no.
he showed nothing last year.
He just doesn't. listen, I am not one to write. Like I almost will never write somebody
You're
off
writing
on
them
a
off
bad
that
team. I almost never would, but I saw when he was in college, I was like, this guy can't play pro. So like I don't normally go out on that limb and just write somebody off. He is so undersized. He has none of the capabilities that modern quarterbacks need to have. He's not a great leader. Like he has none of the qualities, and he was totally out fucking played by Shedeur Sanders, like across the board when Shedeur
Wild
stepped
thing
in.
to say.
So
wild thing to
what
say.
do you mean?
No. It's just wild to say that out loud because Shedeur didn't light the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, no, but he was pretty impressive. Like
thought he was impressive. I thought he was
on
fine.
a team like that, it was just pretty good, right?
No, I'm not trying to shit on Shedeur
no.
Sanders. I'm really not. I actually thought he did a pretty good job.
I was pretty impressed. I
with
mean,
what he was put
yeah,
in
the
front of
bar
him.
is low on the Cleveland Browns. But I guess my point is, it's really interesting that they're even like, there's no chance in hell Dylan Gabriel should be even close to being competing for this
Not even
job.
close.
They know it. They know this is between Shedeur and Deshaun Watson. And you know what? It really isn't, because you drafted a quarterback who showed the ability to be a leader, to handle himself accordingly on the field and off, to grow across the course of his season. He's, by the way, like set rookie records for the Browns in his performances. He was doing shit that Browns quarterbacks haven't done in 20 years for their shitty team, their shitty offense that couldn't do anything before him. And so like, why are you doing this to yourselves? I will say, I understand you actually do have to give a player like Shedeur some competition.
Okay.
It's helpful. It's helpful for them to like.
I'll agree with that.
So like it just sucks that it's Deshaun Watson.
No, that's a choice. That's a decision they're making.
Yeah, like bring back literally any other veteran quarterback.
Honest to God, it's in the chat right here. And yes, as much as I am not a fan of the second one, bring back Jeff Garcia and Johnny Manziel. At this point, yeah, I'd rather you brought back one of those two.
I actually think Manziel these days might be hilarious. Like he's kind of a mess. Give him a job.
He is definitely a mess.
But in terms of like, just bring back literally any veteran quarterback on a veteran minimum. Like we do not. What are you gonna have Deshaun Watson mentor Shedeur?
Well, yes, he could definitely mentor him. Not the shit you want him to mentor him on.
Shedeur is like has more character and is more mature than Deshaun already, and he's like 21 years old. Like it's so useless to have him on the roster, and I understand that they're going to keep doing it, but like they're setting themselves up for failure repeatedly.
Yeah, they're the fucking Cleveland Browns. That's what they do.
I've just never
This
seen
is the second version of the Cleveland Browns.
And also, Deshaun Watson can't play Todd Monken's style of like, the whole thing is fucking stupid.
Listen, the fact that we're even talking about Deshaun Watson in 2026 is just the fact that is a billionaire sitting there so desperate to make something that he did that everyone fucking hated. Everyone, not me and you.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking everyone.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually that's a great point. Is that like very few things will unite sports fans in complete 100% agreement like Deshaun Watson's contract.
Everyone.
Yes.
Other owners were fucking pissed.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Exactly. Like everyone.
Yeah.
I can't stress it enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will talk about that, but not quite yet, because headline number 3, the Masters are over. And yes, the pageantry, the pretentiousness, the nonsense, the you can't call it a back nine. It's the final 9. You can't call it a golf course. This is Augusta National. Oh, I'm just glad it's fucking over.
Yeah. I'm
Also,
always
congratulations,
glad it's
Rory. You won your second one.
I'm pretty into Rory. I kind of always have been.
I like Rory,
I'm
too.
down with it. I liked when he won it last year.
So did I.
He got his Grand Slam.
I also loved his quote when because every previous winner gets to make the meal for all the winners in the past, right? And someone gave him shit because there's nothing uniquely Irish about this. Like, why didn't you have any Irish dishes? And his direct quote, and this is why I immediately rooted for Rory for year 2, he said, and I quote, "I wanted to enjoy the meal."
Okay.
To which I immediately said, I hope he repeats. I hope he fucking repeats.
He really could have put like a real potato famine joke in there.
He really could have. Potatoes, raw.
Yeah,
Just throw it in there.
Oh my God! But he did win. He is now in an elite group of people who have won back-to-back Masters, along with Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and Nick Faldo. And that's all-time shit, man. Like, I think it's really cool because I think this day and age we're so used to athletes being great in their late 30s, early 40s even. And like we live in a post Tom Brady, LeBron world where it's actually not crazy to be seeing these dudes play.
But it's
he's
also
36
a
years old.
Yeah.
And to win your first Masters at 35 and 36 is great. Like that's really fucking awesome. There's no reason to think that he's slowing down.
Not at all.
And that's really cool. There is controversy, though. God forbid we get through a win without controversy.
Yeah, so when you actually put the controversy in front of me,
Yeah.
and I read the article.
Yeah,
and then I saw the rebuttal article, and I read that article too.
Okay.
But I kept going back to the first article.
Okay.
And I will admit, please explain what the controversy is so I can immediately say what I thought out loud after reading this article.
So the controversy is that Rory, as the winner, was granted a little bit of extra time, which is totally normal.
Normal
to
for everyone
to
that
work
wins.
Augusta ahead of the match.
Yes.
And then also he has spent the better part of the month going into it, going back and forth on a private jet to continue working the course. He's been there like a couple times a week, like working the course.
Okay.
And like more, I think, than the average person with his resources is.
Okay.
We do know that Tiger Woods spent a ton of time at Augusta prior to his 2019 win. And he used to run practice rounds with all the big guys, all the big guns in the 90s when he was young and coming up. So this is not by any means unprecedented.
It's not brand new.
But there is this little hullabaloo about the fact that Rory has all these resources and opportunity to play the course, practice the course prior to it, and that it's an unfair advantage.
Okay. So I read the article.
Yeah.
I golf a lot.
Yeah.
I love golf. I love playing golf. I love the skill of golf. I love watching videos of celebrities talking and high-thinking people and ex-golfers.
Charles Barkley.
Especially Charles Barkley. I remember this great quote from Sean Connery who was talking about why he loves golf so much. And he's talking about because it's a fair game. It's a game where it's a gentleman's game in a way that the only person you cheat by cheating is yourself. You're not cheating the other person. It's a game that really reveals, it's a revealing game. It's a game that reveals most about yourself than anything else.
Okay.
And I always really liked that.
Okay.
When I read this article, I just sat there going, anyone bitching about this is such a miserable, worthless pissant.
Yeah.
They're not worth a sentence of my fucking time.
Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's a fucking golf course, one of the most challenging golf courses in the world. By the way, it's also the most famous golf course in the world. You can go to a simulator and practically play the golf course. Granted, the weather is going to be very different.
I bet you Augusta doesn't let that happen.
I bet they don't, probably. But at the end of the day, everyone knows what Augusta is.
Well, yeah, especially the top tier guys that are in
And it also usually doesn't matter because weather usually
Also, are we
plays
acting
in a
like
big thing.
Scotty Scheffler couldn't afford to go to?
Oh, and by the way, didn't Bryson fucking lose? Like, he didn't even make the goddamn cut.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Bryson can afford a private jet to go where he fucking
a
wants
lot
as
of the
well.
guys at the top of the,
Like-
not all of them, because not all of them have made. I mean, I don't.
But he's also made a lot of
By the
money,
way,
and his
yeah.
career's afforded him this.
I don't know how many people know because we have both hardcore and casual sports fan viewers. The top tier golfers are worth so much more money than
So
you realize.
much.
When they I don't know how much did Rory win by winning the Masters.
God, I want that actual
Yeah,
number.
we should
Give me one sec.
Google that because
Talk amongst yourselves.
They win so much more money than we ever really talk about, and it's actually this must be a weird like prestige white person golf thing to not talk about the purses that often because we talk about contracts and how much money athletes make all the time.
So just in his one day yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
he made $4.5 million yesterday.
$4.5 million just for winning the Masters. And so over the course of there are other tournaments where you can win $5-6 million in a matter of that. And so a lot of these guys are worth so much more money than you realize. And then on top of it, they have crazy endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
They have so I think that's something that's
It's
under
also an
discussed.
extremely expensive game.
Yeah, so rich people play it to begin. A lot of these people come from money to begin with.
Yes.
To even play the sport. I am never super precious about this shit. To me, it's like if you're Rory McIlroy and you're such a good golfer that you've earned so much money that you can fly yourself back and forth to Augusta to get yourself prepped for it. Guess what? I have watched the best golfers in the world at the prime of their career melt down fully prepared for on a perfect day.
I've
it's
seen-
a mental game.
I've
It's
seen
mental.
Rory melt
Right.
down on
It's
a perfect day.
It is so mental. That's the one thing about golf. Everybody says it's like, yes, it is physical. Yes, we've seen moments where some of these guys, especially Tiger himself, deal with like a lot of physical issues on the, like, the whole thing that made Tiger great was that like he had this like physicality to him and this musculature to him that a lot of golfers didn't have. A lot of people talked about that, right? But like at the end of the day, it's a mental game. So you can practice a million times. If the first time your head gets fucked, that's it.
Can't stress it enough. It's a very difficult game. We watched Rory do it last year. He had that lead going into 18. He blows the lead, and everyone's like, "There it goes again." Rory's blown it up, and then he gets it together and he wins the final extra hole. This time he kind of just plays. By the way, Rory didn't like play out of his mind.
No,
he
did. He was great Thursday, Friday, and then
But then he just kind of played steady, just good, solid golf.
Everybody else gave him the room to stay ahead because they were fucking up.
Yeah.
They were fucking up.
So listen, if you're upset, the people that I did notice was like Outkick and shit that was saying all this nonsense, and it was just like,
well, it was more Outkick stole it from people reacting online. Really, like they did the thing they always do where they see outrage online and they're like, oh, we're gonna capitalize on this, you know,
whiny, bitchy, don't care. If you don't like that Rory didn't win, too bad. He did, second one in a row. I'm hoping for a 3-peat.
The bigger issue is, Rory, can you not take the private jets back and forth multiple times a week? Like, can you do, like, these people are climate criminals. That's a bigger fucking deal than anything. I don't give a shit about like advantages. Relax on the goddamn private
Honestly,
jets.
just get an apartment there and stay there for a couple
why
weeks.
are you going back and forth? Like that privilege bullshit is way more an issue
Why
than
aren't you
anything
just
else.
staying there? Because, like, honest to God, every time I turn on a fucking commercial, the pageantry, the beauty, the somewhat decent weather, the not at all racist views of this golf course, the fact that a woman finally joined this course for the first time maybe a week ago.
Wasn't it like a big deal when they let Tiger play? Like, they didn't let black people play Augusta until Tiger won.
The pageantry, the beauty of
Like, who gives a
old-fashioned
fuck at
white
these
racism
racists?
from Georgia. Like, fuck off.
That's why I like when an Irishman wins, even though he is Northern Irish. It's fine. At the end of the day, the Irish, they're sort of our best whites. It's kind of like they're in terms of like European whites, they're kind of the best we have to offer.
Well, it's funny. I was in a play once called Polish Joke, and it's about a grandfather starting telling his grandson at a young age, he's like, you need to not be Polish. You have to lie about this going through your entire life. And then he's like, and the dad, he's just getting drunker and drunker as he goes forward. He's like, well, what should I just lie about being? He's like, Irish is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's like, everyone really likes the Irish. Go with Irish. Everyone likes them.
The Irish, right? If your country is being bombed or genocided, the Irish are with you. They stand 10 toes down. They are like the wokest. And I don't mean Irish Americans. I mean Irish people.
I'm a bigger Scotland guy myself.
Yeah, but Scotland doesn't ride like that. Scotland's not with it like that. It's the Irish, dude.
Scotland's with it, man.
No, I do actually think that the people are, like, the government is not the Irish government fucking lays out. Every time there's some big like UN thing, the Irish out there like, this is not what we're representing. I can't do
What
Irish
was
accent.
that accent?
I think it was Mexican.
Was that a weird Eastern European accent? Where did you get?
This is not the European.
Yeah, you just went straight Ruski.
I can't do it. Yeah, I cannot do an Irish.
What accent are you doing right now? Are you okay?
I'm trying to do Scottish.
Scottish is hard.
If I think about Shrek,
Go ahead.
there's not.
You immediately turn into Natasha. Maybe
Maybe it's because my name's Tanya. That's kind of Russian.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was something else. Here it comes Irish. Yeah,
I am number one.
We will meet over there at the
I am
Kremlin.
number one. We do number one podcast in Santa
You're actually
Monica.
crushing that accent. Nowhere near Irish, though.
Well, you know what? I don't deserve to represent the Irish. They're
No, you
far
do
far
not.
better than me.
That is factual. All
I
right.
am Irish, by the way.
Well, I love claiming things, too.
Yeah. Fox.
All right. Headline number 4. Tanya,
Yeah.
we did say we were going to get back to this.
Yeah.
Collusion is a word that's been thrown out a little bit. Talk
It's
to
been
us.
thrown out a lot, and this is sort of a like half-assed Tanya fact check situation. I did do a video on this, but I am gonna fact check it a little bit for you,
Please.
give you the full breakdown
Because
this is fascinating.
you have informed me without me
Yes.
knowing yet. I'm a little misinformed on what this actually is.
Yeah, well, it's confusing, and
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, and this is why a lot of people aren't talking about it. So the NFL just won a collusion grievance filed by the NFLPA on behalf of specifically Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray. In the 2022 season, after that season, there was a collusion grievance file because of the issue around contracts for these quarterbacks who were essentially being told that they weren't going to get guaranteed contracts and high guarantees. They were trying to collude against this because these quarterbacks wanted the same thing as Deshaun Watson. This started out with Lamar Jackson point blank saying, I want 5 years fully guaranteed, just like Deshaun Watson. If you're going to give it to Deshaun Watson, you're going to give it to somebody with a unanimous MVP. How about that? The Ravens didn't want to.
Also, can I also throw out unanimous MVP and no allegations of any kind?
No allegations. Still none, by the way.
Still waiting on them.
Still waiting on them. So, and this was also, so Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson were also negotiating in that season. So this is on behalf of essentially all the quarterbacks who were high level, who would have been able to negotiate this kind of deal. And what happened is they, obviously, their whole thing was, wow, we're going to let Lamar Jackson in this restricted free agency field offers from other teams. And if another team wants to pay Lamar Jackson what he thinks he's owed, then they can sign him for that and give us 2 first-round draft picks. That was part of the whole deal.
Yes.
Which is a pretty good deal for Lamar Jackson. We know since then, right after that, he had 2 back-to-back MVP caliber seasons.
Yes,
one, and then the next one he barely lost to Josh Allen. So that would have been a great deal. Somehow, Cody, nobody wanted to pay for Lamar Jackson. And everybody was like, are we sure that that's not collusion? There were other moments where we have full-on evidence that there were text messages colluding against Kyler Murray getting guaranteed money. So what happened in this collusion is grievance, and what their final ruling was is the most fascinating part, because literally, the panel said, the NFL absolutely asked you guys to collude. We can see that they asked you to collude. We can tell they asked you to collude. We just can't prove that all the teams decided to actually do the collusion. They found insufficient evidence to prove that collusion occurred, so they dismissed expert testimony regarding the decrease in the signing bonuses and guaranteed salary after the league invited teams to collude. The panel rejected the basic commonsensical idea that if the league invited them to restrict guaranteed contracts, and if guaranteed contracts were thereafter restricted, the teams must have followed the league's advice. It's this weird thing where
Who's on this panel?
This is NFL arbitration panel, so it's like a 3-person panel, and this is why arbitration sucks, because they literally said
you colluded.
By the way, their words were these exact words. They said it would defy reason to, what was it? It would essentially defy reason to believe that these people didn't understand that they were being asked to collude. They said point blank, anybody with any common business sense would know they were being asked to collude. We just can't prove that they actually did it.
No, that's bullshit. It just says there they asked you to collude, and then the actions clearly show that whether you want to say collusion or not, at this point, it doesn't matter. They got the result they wanted. How can you say collusion but no fucking collusion?
They say that the critical issue is whether some or all of the clubs gave adherence to the NFL's proposal and thereby participated in a collusive scheme.
That is dog
They
shit.
said they could not provide sufficient evidence to show by a clear preponderance of the evidence that teams were adhering to and participating in inclusive
Honest question:
agreements.
does the PA have any recourse to sue or appeal this somehow? Because
that's-
this is insane.
Technically,
by
but-
this very panel's admission, they just they said they colluded, but we can't prove it. But you can.
But
you can because the result was of that collusion.
That's what Florio was saying, was like, so he was saying that this is such a confusing collusion case because they said we know the NFL tried to collude, but they're also saying that since we are saying they didn't prove collusion worked, then they lose their grievance.
But it did work. No
work.
one got guaranteed money outside of Deshaun. All right, so let's just go through this. So those of you that are casual sports fans, every single time a new quarterback signs, it resets the market. It's a phrase that we love to say, resetting the market, yada, yada, yada. Whoever's next up is going to reset the market from the previous guy. So when Jalen Hurts signs a $210 million deal, next guy is going to sign $214 million, yada, 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 and so on and so forth. And then it gets reset again when we get ourselves a new salary cap year in, year out. When it goes up a little bit, okay, the market's going to be reset. Now it's going to be $240 million. And the next guy, 241, 243, and so on and so forth, depending on how they rework the contracts to get other people to surround them. This is fucking maddening because basically when this always happens, the market gets reset.
Yeah.
That is the new standard. So Deshaun Watson gets this ridiculous $230 fully guaranteed contract. Now, clearly, everyone wants that, but no one got that. But you can't say they colluded, even though they said they did collude. But don't worry, we can't prove that they actually put it in action, except no one else got fucking guaranteed money. The PA should somehow, I don't even know what the recourse is, they should sue.
I guess
this should go to the Supreme goddamn court.
And there are collusion cases that have established, or there's other cases,
unreal.
the Brian Flores case, they established essentially that the NFL arbitration is illegal. So this could it could end up somewhere else.
That is mind-boggling.
But yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is that as soon as the Browns reset the market, it doesn't matter what you and I think about how absurd that contract was.
But that's the market now.
Once you reset the market, it is illegal, point blank, no arguments, to collude to then lower the market back down. It is illegal to do it. You cannot do it. The only way that it happens is if Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray decide to stick with the Cardinals and those teams are able to negotiate them down after letting them get free, fair market offers from other teams. There is no world where Lamar Jackson and the talent that he has and what he could do for a franchise does not get offers from other teams, whether they are, guaranteed or not. That's not a real thing. We knew it at the time something was fucked. It was very odd at the time. Everybody said, well, he doesn't have representation. Fuck off.
Fuck right off with all of that.
But the reality is you cannot, it doesn't matter. Haslam fucked you. You cannot collude to lower the market once it's reset. It's illegal. It's done. It's over. It's why everybody was so mad at the Browns to begin with. Understood. If I was an owner, I'd be mad too. If I was a billionaire owner, I'd be like, what are you doing?
If you're a fan that knows what Deshaun Watson was being accused of at the time by many credible witnesses.
Yeah, the owners don't give a fuck about that.
But the other thing about it is, you remember, I remember being, and I'm sure you remember the world during this time. I'll never forget it. We're sitting here having a talk about Deshaun Watson, despite everything that's going on, yet every single day there was a new hit piece out on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Not unlike what we just saw last week with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
No, I have not read a fucking hit piece on Deshaun Watson about him getting this new Browns job and getting his money, but I sure as shit read 12 anonymous sources being thrown to the wolves for Jalen Hurts last week, who, by the way, has a pretty spotless record and has been to multiple Super Bowls. But,
he's a Super Bowl MVP.
We'll just all go fuck ourselves on that one.
Yeah.
And it's time in, time out. We watched this happen in real time. We're watching it happen again. When is everyone going to be like, all right, that's fucking enough?
I don't know. But it's really perplexing. And quite honestly,
Wild.
outside of Florio and maybe one other person, there aren't a lot of people talking about how insane this is because it genuinely, I was shocked that the panel even admitted that there was a collusion attempt. Like the fact that you're
so
straight
bad.
up admitting it's the first time we've really gotten something of this merit where they have said point blank, oh, you were trying to collude. And by the way, you knew that nobody that you told this to would have assumed you were doing anything but trying to collude.
Those of you that are wondering why we drink on this show.
Yeah, it's
It's this fucking story.
it's really, really crazy. So it is something I'm going to keep an eye on because quite honestly, it's pretty fascinating. And I do wonder if there is going to be further recourse from here, especially depending on how the reaction comes down from the PA. But JC Treader, who is in charge, right now is speaking on behalf of the NFLPA, has said what?
You really bothers me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just thinking this out loud as a former athlete.
Okay.
Being an athlete, and this what really drives me crazy, especially being part of baseball. Baseball has arguably the most strong union there is in a sport right now. I would honestly say the Major League Baseball PA is the strongest of all the current unions.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Which is fascinating because, as you know, the majority of baseball players are extremely right wing. I'm generalizing. I'm not saying there aren't people in between. There
but they love socialism when it comes to sports.
but they love socialism when it comes to sports. Being an athlete only made me more liberal.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me that other athletes don't do that, follow suit.
Right.
That's something that's just really, because they don't realize that they are, because every CBA that comes up, every one of these dudes that I know wear MAGA hats at their home are fucking so pro-union, fighting for their rights. And it's just, it drives me insane that they don't fucking smarten up.
Yeah.
That the people that are in charge are really dirty. It's an ugly, ugly world out there. You need your union and protection. You need it because those guys are protecting each other. And if you're not just aware and awake and alive in America right now and don't see that, I'm hoping people start to put the magnifying glass on sports a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just seeing what's actually taking place. It's really maddening to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, the socialism of sports it's so fascinating because it's not only just the unions, but it's also like the NFL draft is socialist, right? I
Very
mean,
much so.
You take the teams that do the best, that have the most resources, that have the most opportunity and the best record with the most success. They say, all right, you're gonna go later. We need to help out the little men here. We need to help out the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders.
And by the way, there's a salary cap where the salary floor is 90% of the salary cap. So those have-nots are very much haves.
Right. So we're not going to because if we did it the late stage capitalist way, you know who would have the best picks this year? The Seahawks and the Patriots. We'd be giving them the first and second round.
I actually push back on that. If we were doing the capitalist way, there would be no draft, and whoever just spends the most money gets the best players.
Well, not quite though, because that now
on paper.
Well, I'm talking about like in the system, right? If we're gonna run the draft the most,
system,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, like because I mean we could say baseball does that, right? Baseball does do that. The most money.
They do, but not when you're drafted. You still
Right.
you still go through a draft.
But what
process.
I'm saying is so because baseball doesn't really use the draft the same way.
No, they do not.
And they don't have
it puts
a
you in the
salary
system,
cap.
and they don't have a salary cap. Which, by the way, baseball. Fun fact. This is just a fun fact. Of all of these salary cap leagues and Major League Baseball.
By the way,
not being
salary
one-
cap, socialist.
Yeah, but it's just really funny to me. All these salary cap leagues, the parity in said leagues are nowhere near the parity of Major League Baseball. Look at the last 20 Major League Baseball.
I
World
mean,
Series.
dude,
You're
I
welcome
would
on that.
argue that NBA's had pretty good parity lately. That's
I
the
would
crazy
too.
part. By accident.
By the way,
but-
it's not on purpose, by the way, but by accident, yeah. But Major League Baseball has phenomenal parity. Don't have recency bias just because the Dodgers won 2 in a
I
row.
will say that, recently there's been parity. For a while, there was like.
No, I
it
mean,
was-
we're
there's,
talking about the Yankees in the end of the 90s.
Well, no, but the stretches, there's like stretches, right? There's stretches of time in the 90s before the Yankees where it was like, it was going back and forth. There was all kinds of teams winning titles and making World Series.
I can go
right?
through the entire list.
And
Let's see.
then,
The
like,
Reds won it in like 90, 91 was the Minnesota Twins. 92 was the 92 and 93
I mean, shit,
was the
the
Toronto Blue
Diamondbacks
Jays.
won one like 2 years after they became a team.
They won one in 2001 against
yeah.
the New York Yankees.
They robbed them after 9/11.
The Marlins won 2 in 97 and 2003.
They won 2.
They won
No.
2, 97 and 2003. Gary Sheffield
won
and
2?
Jim Eisenreich beat the Cleveland Indians, and then 2003 the Yankees fell to Josh Beckett.
My guy.
You know why I
Red
remember
Sox
that World
legend.
Series? Because it was the most disappointing World Series of my life because we were 5 outs away from getting Red Sox versus the Cubs.
Oh.
That's how close we were.
That's right.
And instead, we got fucking Marlins versus the Yankees. I was pissed.
Listen,
I'm still pissed.
I wasn't super happy about the Aaron Boone situation either.
Listen,
Cody.
you came back the next year and had a magical run, so
Yeah.
you at least got an ending to the story.
Oh, yeah.
I almost got Cubs versus fucking Red Sox, a cursed World
also-
Series. We were 5 outs away.
By the way, Red Sox would have won that.
Fucking Grady Little.
shit. Red Sox would.
I
Yeah.
still
Well,
point at you.
That's
And
actually-
then-
that's
and then-
actually valid.
And then Steve Bartman, of course.
That's yeah. God damn it.
Steve Bartman didn't make the decisions. Grady Little did.
Yeah.
Oh God damn
That's
it.
fair.
All right. Well,
So,
let's
yeah, there
let's
we
get
go.
away from the sports of it all when it comes to the headlines, and
Yeah.
let's get back to Media Corner. And I hate to say this.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on this on Friday. We are not going to spend as much time on it today, but it is still, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the biggest media story in sports right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of things that have really grossed me out
Yep.
about this Vrabel and Diana Rossini story.
Yep.
There's been a lot of takes that have been fucking baffling. There has been a lot of, I mean, it's not that baffling. This is an inherently sexist world when it comes to sports and sports media. But dear fucking God, the amount of women that are desperately trying to eat their own in this situation has been
That's bumming me
very
out.
staggering
It's bumming
to me.
me out, man.
Like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and mince words. And those of you that work in the sports industry that see this clip and don't see this clip, you don't need to pretend. There's some of us in this industry that truly love watching us eat our own. Now, if it's somebody that's a truly bad person, okay, I get it. Diana just isn't one of those people.
There's lots of truly bad people that have jobs right now.
Yep, ton of them.
And we know they're bad.
Ton of
and
them.
They have jobs.
Now, the only update that we truly have on the exact story, this is the only real update, is that The Athletic, after, of course, which you gave the update on Friday, decided to pull Diana Rossini until an investigation. The Athletic is doing a full investigation. I don't know what that means.
Well, the bigger issue is that there's internal criticism at The Athletic right now around it, which that's now we've entered into the territory of the discourse within The Athletic and whether or not they kind of fucked their own journalistic integrity by jumping the gun too soon, going to defend Diana
That's
Rossini,
the only
then
mistake that I
there's-
see happening here.
But so, and here's the thing is, and you know, what's being reported right now, and this was, I just want to shout out who is actually reporting this. It's Status's Natalie Korach or Korak. That the aggressive initial public defense issued before the pictures had been established is where the situation began to spiral into something bigger.
Yeah.
Status reports that The Athletic had opened an internal investigation immediately after learning of the photographs. And while Ginsburg was telling Page Six the photos were misleading, the organization had since begun a probe into the very situation he was dismissing. So staffers inside both the Times and The Athletic told Status the handling of the situation was unnecessarily messy.
Yes.
One said that it was reckless and premature. Another went further,
was.
calling it intentionally sneaky, given that any mention of an active investigation was conspicuously absent. So essentially they're saying like, it looks like they were trying to protect Diana Rossini by like getting ahead of this. Like it was almost like he knew there was an internal investigation, but he was trying to jump the gun and like to protect her. Cause she's their big fish.
Yes, she is.
Realistically.
On the NFL side, absolutely she is.
Right. Which like, this is what people do when you have a big fish and you don't want to lose them, is you defend them to the death. I don't even have a fucking problem with it. It looks messy, but I also understand why internally people are, but like, I've never heard why are we hearing about this, Cody? Like, how many fucking times have we seen reporters and insiders do shady shit? Shady stuff comes out about how they got their sources or how they whatever. Adam Schefter fucking violated someone's HIPAA protections. Like he was publishing actual medical information he wasn't supposed to have. And somehow this is entire staff has decided to go to this person and speak on what's going on internally. I've never even heard this shit before.
Guys, this has gotten so fucking stupidly out of hand. Now keep in mind, there are things that I do think are a little hypocritical. ESPN not mentioning it at all or throwing anything about it, I do admit is hypocritical based on what ESPN currently is. I know why they're doing it, and I actually don't even begrudge them for doing it. But I do acknowledge that it is hypocritical. That being said, what the fuck is even this story now? Because now we got people like Colin Cowherd going out and saying certain quotes that I watched this clip that you sent me of Colin Cowherd maybe a dozen times.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Please read me this quote one more time.
So on Cowherd's podcast, he said, okay, here it is. Diana's in a space where it's moral and ethical. Mike Vrabel's is just moral in terms of their discretions.
Okay, again.
Indiscretions.
Again, I've now read that quote and heard that quote from him. Now
You've
I
been
went back and watched
muttering it to yourself around the room like
because
a crazy
what
person.
the fuck does this even mean? There is no questioning morals and ethics, yada yada yada. Oh my God, we're doing the election quotes from Matthew Broderick. That's what we're doing.
I'm just
guys,
Cody, have you
guys?
Oh my God, I've never heard the word "it's immoral and unethical" thrown around about a reporter this much. I just don't fucking understand how people don't see it.
Mike Vrabel is not going to do a single interview before the draft. He is completely skirting this. Now, whether that's
he skirted it today. Elliot Wolf came out, did the press conference that Vrabel was supposed to do, skirted the issue completely, obviously.
It's not going anywhere. He's going to have to address it.
It's going to
period. Stop. And I hope he does.
But he is working with his PR on it beforehand.
Yeah.
He is working with telling his wife and whatever else so that, getting shit under control. And that's great. I'm so glad he has that opportunity. And now everybody's going to cut him that slack. But I just don't understand. So Colin comes out and he says this is morals and ethics on Diana. But for Mike Vrabel, it's just
only
morals.
Moral.
Because ethically,
he's only cheating on his wife. Ethically, he could just say whatever he wants to a reporter.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this weird ass line in your head, Colin? What are you talking about?
You can't just argue arbitrarily decide what's
hell.
ethical for an NFL coach to do, because ethically
This is
we don't know
exhausting.
what even happened. By the way,
still know
have
nothing.
no more information about this than we did. Nobody's come out and proved that it was an affair. Nobody's admitted to an affair. We don't have any more pictures. We don't have any more evidence. All we have is the fact that Diana Russini seemed to be more aggressive in pushing that AJ Brown was unhappy with the Eagles earlier than other reporters were.
Okay.
That is literally the entire crux of what
Okay.
people feel like they can pin on Diana as having done for
Can
Mike
I
Vrabel.
put a timeout on
Yes.
that real quick? Not a timeout, but
Yes,
just
yeah,
I would
yeah.
like to.
Yeah.
I really want to dive into that
Yeah.
because this is wow, what a scoop! A fucking prima donna receiver is unhappy with his touches and wants to move on. The fuck? This is literally every story that I've seen about every star receiver for the last, and wait for it, 30 fucking years. It's not a story. It's practically armchair quarterbacking every single Sunday because a guy got 3 less touches than he did the previous time. This is nonsense.
Well, that's what people are saying. They're saying like, oh, it's not a story and she made it into one. But you made a great point earlier before our show where you said, wasn't ESPN constantly talking about AJ Brown
All
being
the
unhappy on
fucking time.
the Eagles repeatedly before?
All the time. This is not a new, and this is just not that crazy. And if, by the way, just think of this. Just truly think of this. Say you're a reporter, and I want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not saying this is what Diana Russini did. This is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe we're having this conversation, but I have to actually say this. Say you're a reporter, and you sleep with a guy to get a story, and his story is a guy on the Eagles is unhappy.
No, that's not even what they're saying. They're saying that she was selling the idea that AJ Brown was unhappy so that he will want to leave and go to the Patriots on behalf of Mike Vrabel.
Boy, that's fucking something.
Wow.
I can't stress this enough, dude. This is the most exhausting story, and this is what I want to happen. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. This is what I want to happen. I really want there to be some serious evidence to exonerate both of them. I truly hope that happens.
Oh, God, that'd be
You know
amazing.
why
Yeah.
I want that to happen?
Yeah.
Fuck, the amount of people that are gonna have to eat so much fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go on TV and have to say you're fucking sorry. I want you to put out tweets about how sorry you are. Now, granted, that might not happen. Maybe we find out that there is an affair. But you know what? This still doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to the Patriots. Sure shit doesn't matter to AJ Brown. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what integrity threshold has been broken, other than my sanity is fucking breaking.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I think the problem is that you and I have so much knowledge about how much integrity is
You know
broken.
how shitty
these
everyone in this
relationships.
industry is?
And like the amount that you and I have witnessed personally, that you and I have been through personally,
This is just
I think
nothing.
it's the average fan is like, oh, well, obviously you can't be, sleeping with somebody you're covering. And you and I are like, yeah, dude, if you think that's
I got some bad fucking
that's
news,
the tip
buddy.
of the iceberg, my guy.
I got some real bad news
That's
for
what's
you.
really frustrating for you and I is it almost feels so gaslighting because there's a lot of stuff that you and I know that like the average people don't, and that's the problem. Why doesn't everybody know it? Why does everybody know so much more about Diana Rossini and these goddamn pictures? Why
pretty
do these
wild,
pictures?
isn't it?
Why do these pictures exist? Why are they on? Like you
don't
guys
know.
have to start questioning this a little bit more now. I've got one of the writers that I really admire, Nancy Armour at USA Today.
Mm-hmm.
She posted a story today that was essentially, she said point blank, Diana Russini has threatened the credibility of all women in sports, and I am
she
so
hasn't.
like that to me it's so frustrating because no, she hasn't. The people who are willing to throw all women under the bus because of Diana, this was her exact headline. Diana Russini put credibility of all women in sports at risk. And the entire article ends with this line, which really, really pissed me off. And again, I really like Nancy Armour. I actually think she's an amazing writer and great at her job, and I really respect her. But she wrote, the last thing any of us need is one of our own taking us backward. Now, I have to wonder, Cody, how it is that one single woman and her decisions, whether she had this affair or not, took us backward if men aren't putting us all into the same box every time a woman fucks up. Why is it, Cody, that you're not being held responsible? Why isn't your integrity being questioned because of what Adam Schefter did? A fellow Jew, a fellow white Jew.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Nobody.
No. I get enough things that Jews do pinned on me. Leave me alone on that shit.
Exactly. But like, that's my point. Is like, what are we fucking doing?
No, I agree. This is just maddening. Like, it's all maddening. It's all maddening.
No, Cody, no. I don't trust you anymore because Adam Schefter lies.
I know.
No, that's your fault, by the way.
That is. It is my fault as a white man.
Like, come on, dude. What are you fucking talking about? You can't.
It's just insane.
And now it's Diana Rossini is responsible for how men treat women in sports. Not men. Not an institution that has put us into this box over and over again, who has created these awful, misogynistic, sexist systems. It's Diana Rossini's fault because she fucked up. That it's not on the men. Let's let the men
I hate
off.
this fucking story. It is so exhausting, and everyone that is capitalizing on it, honest to God, makes me fucking sick. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you.
Also,
The fact that this is a story makes me pretty fucking
I get why it's a story, but I don't.
Because it's moderately salacious and it's a slow week in the NFL.
But
that's it.
That's it. And like, you know what? It's a story, okay. But the amount of hand wringing and moral versus ethical dilemmas being probed by fucking.
I know way worse shit than this. How about that? The
we
shit I
both
know.
do.
Oh my God! You want stories? I'll tell you fucking stories
about reporters
about
and
reporters.
what they do.
Are you fucking like this? Is this a goddamn joke? What planet did I just transfer to? I feel like I need to get back to Earth before the Stargate closes.
I know, but the thing is, Cody, this isn't surprising. Every single time a woman does something, not only do men pile on, but then women are like, "Oh, I can't believe you do that to us." Fuck you. I will stand 10 toes down on the idea that Diana Rossini is not going to make my life worse. Men are going to make my life worse. And Diana Rossini is going to pay with her fucking career, which no men ever do. Men never pay with their fucking career unless they are convicted of murder. And then even then. So you know what? What?
I don't want to get caught for murder.
No, well, because you haven't been, or have you?
That you know of.
You don't want to get caught.
I don't want to get caught is what I said. I didn't say I did anything.
Listen, I'll testify for you. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't say I did anything. I said I don't want to get caught.
Well.
That's all I said.
All right, so we're going to move on from that, and hopefully we're not going to ever talk about it again, but I'm not going to lie.
I really hope this story never comes around ever again. I hope it goes away forever. It won't, but I hope it does. All right, let's go on some hills that we're dying on and finish the show on a very fun note. And I'm going to go first because I want to go first.
Go for it.
Here's the thing. I have never once gone to Coachella. I don't want to go to Coachella. Here's why I don't want to Coachella. It's not because of the bands. I'd love to see some of these bands. 9 Inch Nails? You betcha I want to see 9 Inch Nails. Foster the People. I watched them literally last night. I got to say this. It's pretty fun. Coachella is doing it. I can't believe it's actually doing this way, but Coachella is doing it. Puts everything on a YouTube channel right now completely for free. I am actually staggeringly shocked that Netflix or somebody hasn't bought it up. Now that I said that, get ready for that paywall next year on Hulu. But right now, you can watch it on YouTube. So I've been watching so many concert videos and watching live performances. I watch a lot. And here's the thing. I still have no interest whatsoever to go to Coachella. Doesn't mean I don't want to go to a festival.
So you're dying on the hill that there's a festival that you must see.
I'm dying on the hill that I am a hypocrite.
Okay. Your hill is I'm a hypocrite.
My hill is that I'm a hypocrite, and I am willing to admit this.
Okay.
I think we're all hypocritical in certain things because I wouldn't be caught dead at Stagecoach. I wouldn't be caught dead at Coachella. And I always cited the people, and I think it's fair. I think you've seen plenty of social media videos around the world. It's like about people at Coachella, like what?
Yeah, I also just don't feel like camping and like shitting in a bucket. So.
Completely agree. That being said, I want to go to Burning Man, and hear me out on this real quick.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying this makes sense. I'm saying that Burning Man is such a shit show, insane fucking thing that I just want to see it and take part in it once. Just once to say I did it. No other reason. I don't feel that way about Coachella. I don't feel that way about Stagecoach.
Okay.
But for some reason, I want to
Not
go.
even Bonnaroo. You know
I want to throw on a Speedo and a fucking leopard skin vest.
do mushrooms.
I don't know. I've never done mushrooms. Maybe.
Well, if you're at Burning Man, you probably should.
I want to throw in fucking Uggs to my knees.
Sure.
And I just want to walk around.
Wait, is this where you're going to wear a crop top finally?
This is your chance to get me in a crop top. This is your dream.
Me and Annie really want to see the crop top.
Yeah. Apparently, her and my girl, Tanya, my girlfriend Annie, have been colluding to get me in a fucking crop top. I can't stress this enough. I do not have the abdomen for a crop top. I don't have the worst abdomen. I just don't have.
You have the abdomen for a crop top.
I do not have the abdomen.
Come on,
for a crop
I wouldn't
top.
throw you to the wolves like that.
No, I do not have the abdomen.
I wouldn't.
No. I can can take off my shirt and I look fine. I look
Yeah.
perfectly. How about this? I am aware that I look
Above,
better.
you're a way
I
above
look
average.
better than the average
Yes.
male for sure.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. But when I see it in the mirror, I still see that fat
Okay,
guy.
but meanwhile, I'm getting bullshit off the top of the last show just because I wanted to adjust a camera angle. You blow up my whole spot, but this man won't even put on a goddamn crop top.
What? There is also. What man wears a crop top outside of the Boz in 1988?
Zeke Elliott.
Zeke's got some great abs.
He
though.
does.
Like he's got like he's
does.
got those like really protruding abs. I don't like if I had Zeke Elliott's abs,
Yeah.
I'd walk around with an empty picture frame and shirtless.
Listen, there's a lot of not straight men out there letting the midriff fly.
I don't
and-
have that. Dude, you don't think I watch Rocky 3 and see Carl Weathers fucking running along? I'm like, fuck yeah, Carl Weathers in your crop top and sweet shorts. But I ain't Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers is yeah.
It's fucking Carl Weathers, man.
Peak Carl Weathers is really good. Yeah, that's really good.
I mean,
forgot
I'm not
about
gonna lie to you,
that.
man. Carl Weathers,
I think I just got lost a little bit.
dude, was a little bit of a
that.
snack back in the day.
Yeah.
He was a snack.
Listen,
I'm willing.
I'm not arguing.
I'm a straight man. I'm willing to admit that Carl Weathers, poor Sly.
Honestly, so-
That's why Sly killed him off. He couldn't be on camera with him anymore.
100%.
He just like shit. I can't keep competing with this shit.
100%.
I get it. I get what you did.
Okay, so naturally, we accidentally came up with the same thing. So when we do our Hills We're Dying On, I don't put anything in the rundown. I don't tell you what it's going to do. We did touch base quickly prior to the show, and we both realized ours were Coachella related.
Yes.
Mine is very different though, luckily. So the hill I'm dying on is that it is okay to admit that something you really like also sucked. Justin Bieber's headline Coachella
dog
set
shit.
sucked.
It was so bad.
It was really fucking bad.
It was bad.
This man got paid more than any Coachella headliner has ever been paid to play his own songs off of YouTube and half-heartedly sing along to them. Justin Bieber is fucking awesome. I love Justin Bieber songs. You throw on a Bieber jam, I'm down. I love a good pop star with great jams, whatever. You cannot sit here and tell me, I've seen Beychella. I've seen Lady Gaga. I've seen some of the greatest pop stars of our
I
generation.
watched Sabrina Carpenter the other night.
She's fine.
I know. I don't know much about her. I thought the show looked. I thought it was interesting.
It's certainly not at like none of these people are putting on the performances of their millennial counterparts, whatever. Which is why I was like, Justin, you got this. Come on. He didn't. And this is the problem. Is like everybody in the Justin Bieber fandom. And again, I'm a fan of Bieber's like hit songs. I like Bieber songs. I like Bieber. Like I kind of root for him. He's a kid who came up in a really gross industry that really exploited him. He struggled. He's been honest and vulnerable. I'm down for it. But it was a bad fucking show and he wasted everyone's time and money. And his fans are like, you just don't get it. He was singing along with his younger self. He was blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nah, dude, he put on a half-ass bullshit performance. And you know what? It's totally okay that you liked it. Like, I don't actually need you to have not liked it. I need you to admit it was bad and you liked it in spite of that. There is so much shit I like that's bad, and I like it anyway. But if you tell me that, like, so I liked the Super Bowl. It was a bad game.
I
I
didn't like
liked
it
it
at all.
because I'm a Patriots fan. And I liked watching the Patriots in the Super Bowl. If I'm a Justin Bieber fan, I'm probably going to like watching Justin Bieber headline Coachella. It was a bad show.
It was.
Have you heard me one time be like, Cody, shut up. That was a great Super Bowl. No, of course not, because I'm not a fucking asshole and I'm not a moron. And of course I know it was a bad game. I enjoyed it. I know everybody else only enjoyed Bad Bunny. And you know what? Totally fair. Everybody else being like, that Super Bowl sucked. I hated it. Fuck the Patriots. Does not affect the fact that I liked it. And nobody's asking me to not have liked it. They just need me to admit it wasn't a good game. And I
which
can.
you can easily do.
And I can.
It was a shit game.
And so like, I'm so tired. The hill I'm dying on is like, it's okay to like something and admit it sucked and admit it's bad.
Yes.
And admit that everything that Justin Bieber, I cannot imagine a pop star of anybody not white or male coming out and putting on that shit fuck performance and not getting absolutely fucking hated.
I can't stress enough. I thought it was atrocious.
It was awful. It was awful.
But listen, if you liked it, congratulations. I don't know.
And
what
if you liked
watching.
it, that's fine. But it was objectively bad. It was not like he put no effort into it. There was no nothing special about that. He could have done that anywhere at any time. There was nothing that he prepared. What did he get paid for? So that you all could be like a little bit high and be like, look at his face on YouTube. Fuck you. Have some goddamn standards. And if your standards tell you, I know this is bad, but I still liked it because it was cool for me to get to see Justin Bieber. Fine,
buddy.
That's fine.
I know. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. I went and saw Bruce Springsteen last Thursday. If I went there to that Bruce Springsteen show and he was just playing songs on his YouTube over the PA and singing along to it, I would have been fucking
Imagine if he was like,
irate.
This is me with my younger self from the 1970s.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
This is how I used to listen to records
back
in the 60s. Anyway, here's Border Run. I'm going to karaoke this over the fucking PA. What are we talking about here?
So, guys, there's some stuff we know is half-ass bullshit. We need to be able to delineate it while also being okay. Because I'm always so much better when people are just honest and
that's nice.
have some level of taste.
By the way, I found a word that you speak with an accent. You can't get rid of your Boston.
Wait,
accent. It's the word honest. I just heard you do it. Because it was honest. It was very Boston. I'm like, oh, there she is. There she is.
I think the Boston...
You start talking about the Pats and you start talking about your passion for the Boston thing. All of a sudden, you're honest.
No, that's not. You know what it is? If I said it with a Boston accent, it would be honest.
It was sneaking through. I know it was sneaking through. It was trying to give you that O.
It's the emphasis on the O.
Yeah,
the honest.
Yeah, the shocks.
The fucking honest.
Yeah, fucking shocks.
You guys are fucking way too honest.
Ah, fucking socks.
Speaking
of socks, we didn't get to the bloody sock today because we are we've never
actually discussed how poetic it is that the Boston Red Sox, one of their most iconic moments in the history of their franchise, featured a white sock bleeding, becoming red.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Kurt Schilling pitched well. And he probably used some magic marker on his ankle. Anyways, that's not important, though. What's important is that it doesn't matter whether or not it was real or not. Fuck Kurt Schilling.
Fuck Kurt Schilling.
Anyways, we'll see you guys on Friday. We're the regulars.
Cheers.